Okay. So you want to do the tail that I did? There's an easy way for that. I'm going to teach you 3 things. How I set up the mesh, how I set up the next part, and how they set up the physics, right? These are all what the tail looks like when they're playing, right? It's the first one. This is the second one. And this is the third one. So, for that to be achieved, right? The easiest way that I had done it, right? For the first part, right? I called it easy, but basically I set my own automatic mesh generator for it, right? And aptly named iMesh it. Click on it. For the preset, right? That I have set it to. Wait for it. Right? It's 17, 8, 0, 5, 10, and 0. And you're done. For this part, it's a mix of both. I added that preset on this one, and I had to fix the mesh for especially these parts right here because I want the this art mesh between, you know, it supports the boundary of the tail. But for the last one, I had to manually edit this, right? So E. And manually added all of these points, right? So that I can guarantee the best smoothness there is for this model. So, next part, we're going to use this tool called deformation tool, right? This little orb thingy. And the general consensus here for me, right, is for each orb that you add, right, like that's 1, that's 2. Now that it will add 2 rotation deformers, and for each one that you add, right, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it will have 5 different rotation deformers that can affect this mesh right here. I want you to increase the size a bit, right, so that you see it. The blue and the red circle are like the red lines are intersecting, right? Once you're finished, go to modeling, click on skinning, and use the formation path for skinning, and you're done. Afterwards, go to modeling, right? For this one, just use breathing, right? Okay. Add breathing. Okay. Set it type to angle. If you use position X, it will fumble its way. It will have, what you call this thing? It'll pause in some areas, and I wouldn't want that. So I use angle instead, right? Increase the angle from -10 to -60. 60, right? And I want you, on your pendulum settings, to add more, right? Because it'll add a lot of parameters for your object. So now go to output settings, go to add, and I want you to add all of these, right? I just click and dragged it, right? All the parts that you had auto-generated with your stomach, but deformation path skinning, right? Okay. And let it move a bit, and you can now increase your output. It'll be wonky at first. So the next part is actually fixing it. Change the shaking from 0.9 to 0.8. It's a little bit too much. Increase output. Change overall to 0.8, right? I just right-clicked it, right? Change duration, 5. It's mostly experimentation on this part because you gotta keep redoing it and redoing it so that it looks smooth. I want it to bend a bit more, so I'll add more. I'll decrease the overall speed of it. And that looks good to me. It should be good. You can decrease it more or increase it. It's totally up to you. Close it, save it. Right. Next part, right? For these parts, right? because this is the instance, right, where it's a little bit more bigger. So you're going to use a lot more deformation path, right? Hi, Kobai. It's currently creating just a very short showcase. Because the problem lies with this mesh is that this one is too close to the mesh here. So this ball right here covers this part and it will have problems later on. So I suggest, right, is to make it smaller, right? But the next problem arises with the other parts because now this won't cover all of these parts, right? So remove this, extend it, just barely so that it covers here. That when I increase it, it'll cover everything, right? See that, right? Increase it. Now, when you're done, modeling, skinning, use the deformation path for skinning. If that shows up, it means that for some parts it will have problems and you just gotta keep redoing it, you know, reskinning it. Just press Ctrl Z so that it goes back, right? Cancel it, or, right? So now go to modeling. Tail. And I want to use breathing for this. And then strength 15. I need to add more layers because it's 20. 5. 5. 9. And add the other tail. So now it's very smooth. You gotta fine tune it a lot of the time so that you can make it better or, you know, smoother. It's a bit too much overall. It's too much 3.6. That's too much. Increase it a bit so it moves a bit slower. Alright, that's just the thingy fixing itself. So yeah, that's how you can cheat your way into making a semi-good tail. It needs a lot of fine-tuning, but that's it.